Hey, Sonic Boom 94 here, and today's review sees the conclusion of Spider-Man Reign. For those of you who've seen my past look-backs at Spider-Man Reign, then you already know the drill. For those of you who don't, here's a brief summary. 50 years into the Marvel Universe, Peter Parker gave up being Spider-Man because he accidentally killed Mary Jane because, due to the amount of sex that he gave her, the radiation that was in his body fluids gave her cancer, and she died. However, he is brought out of being Spider-Man when J. Jonah Jameson urges him to, kind of. Look back at the reviews if you're not quite sure about that. And also, New York is being controlled by a man named Waters, who also has his assistant Edward Sachs at the side, who is secretly Venom. With Spider-Man's re-emergence, Waters, or rather Sachs, because Sachs is more competent than he is, assembles the Sinister past Spidey villains to beat the living shit out of Spider-Man and kill him. Luckily, Doc Ock's tentacles arrive, yes, just go with it, and rescue Spider-Man, and pretty much has him face up to the fact that he pretty much killed Mary Jane and conquered his personal demons. Spider-Man does this, and throughout the entire story, a pink-haired girl views all of these events, not really accomplishing much, and Jonah is the one who first finds out that Venom is pretty much Edward Sachs. The web project, which allows anyone to not get in or out of New York City, is activated as part of Venom's master plan in order to get revenge on Spider-Man abandoning him, and assembles an army of symbiotes who start to attack on New York City. Okay, so now it's up to Spidey to save New York from Venom, the Sinister, and the massive army of symbiotes. This might sound like a challenge, but anyway, let's get on to it. Let's conclude this mother. So the comic begins with a bird accidentally being hit by the laser webs. No, not the bird, he was my favourite character. But in any case, Spider-Man starts to begin crawling up the web tower. Meanwhile, Scorpion, Electro, Mysterio and Kraven are pretty much talking to themselves, with Kraven saying, "A corpse with metal arms took him away from his reckoning plants. Will he dare face us again? I think his courage is too small." Okay, so yeah, he's talking about Spider-Man, but I find it kind of distracting that he just called Doc Ock a corpse with metal arms. Hello, you were in the same city as him for 50 years. I think you'd recognise him after a while. Oh yeah, and Electro talks. And I'm just going to speak in a sort of voice which sounds like he's having an orgasm. "Pa says he's coming. Keep your eyes peeled. He could be anywhere." I just love how Spider-Man straight up crawls past them as they're walking away. "Do you hear that noise? What are those? Bells?" And then we cut to outside with the source of the bells, the pink-haired girl pretty much hitting that bell repeatedly. I have to admit, if she was in close proximity to that bell, she must be getting a headache. The pink-haired girl says that with the bell, they're through hiding, and she says, I don't know what curse word she's saying. I think it could be shitty. Believe me, I've tried every single possibility, and I definitely believe that it is shitty. So she's calling them shitty monsters. Hello, they look like they can eat you whole, you idiot. And then she has a ski mask that makes her look like a luchador. Twat. Oh yeah, for some reason she appears to have yellow eyes. Don't worry, never brought up again. The Sandman and the Rain Guards tell her to stop, because otherwise he will use excessive force on them, but she says that they ain't moving. We then see Venom with that bloody stupid and inconsistent design that I like to call Venom Juggernaut, or Venor, because it looks like he just fused with the Juggernaut instead. And what is with that pose? He looks like he's taking a shit. And also, for some reason, he has that annoying characteristic where his hands seem to be bigger than his bloody face. That noise, that terrible grating noise. I know how you feel, Venom. Quasimodo has that same thing too. Venom tells Waters to tell the Sandman to stop with the bells, but the Sandman doesn't really go through with this because they're, kids, but Waters threatens to blow him up with a microscopic device inside him. America's leader, folks. Remember, New York, aka America, voted for him. So Sandman tries to reassure the little girl to stop it, but she says, "Can't run? I've been doing that my whole life. I'm through with that." Well, I admit, as long as you shut up about running more so than responsibility, I'm okay with that. She says that they're the only hope in the city and brings up that Hope has 3 daughters: Anger, Courage, and Truth. She then takes off her mask, revealing her face to the Sandman, who says this: "She has my eyes." Wait, what? She has my eyes. Your eyes are what? Greenish blue? Her eyes are dark blue? But then again, we did see that good shot of her eyes where they were bloody yellow. I don't think the artist gave 2 shits when it came to giving people eye colours, did he? Oh, it gets better. It turns out that she's able to turn into cement. And the Sandman recognises her. So many years. What was her name? Sally? And then the Rain Guards pretty much react in the most over-the-top manner I have ever seen. What the? She turned into stone! She's a super! Yeah, you... How far are you away again? Several feet? So, in any case, they start shooting at her while he tries to remember what her name was, and is surprised that she's actually cement rather than sand. The Sandman gets pissed at the Rain Guard's actions and tries to beat the living shit out of them. Problem is that the gunfire is pretty much ripping through her. Sandman still goes in his hissy rant and tries to protect her from the Venom symbiotes. Okay, again in this shot we see the Rain Guard getting their just desserts and being absorbed by a Venom symbiote. Yay? And the little girl asked, I... No, you're not. You're alive. Now we're back in the Rain Tower with Venom finally relieved. Finally, I can think straight. And Jonas saying this: "Oh my God. I just shot myself. Damn you, old age. Will you never let me win?" Oh, and Venom's gone back to his, well, normal looking design. You know, no juggernaut head. Consistency? What's that? Venom realises that Spider-Man is here, and Waters decides to have Electro use the Bug Zapper. And Electro pretty much goes into orgasm mode. These batteries you can't be fitted with, they sing. And his face is hilarious. That is basically orgasm-faced Electro. I think he's reached the point where only electricity can turn him on in his old age. The web tower is scuttled by electricity, and Spider-Man falls off only to web swing? Wait a minute, Spider-Man. If you, attach the web over to the tower that is flowing with electricity, you would be pretty much fried even if you were still on that building. Oh well, consistency in Marvel Comics is not that often. You know, this page has only 3 panels that look exactly the same, minus caption boxes and Spider-Man placement. Really, if you didn't pay any attention on them, you really wouldn't think that anything was different in them. It wouldn't be Spidey without a classic Spidey joke. I guess they know I'm here. Maybe I should have knocked first. Knock knock, who's there? Yahoo! And he kicks Electro straight in the mouth. And you can see a lot of teeth and a lot of dispersing electricity. Well, at least he managed to get past this round. I knew you'd be excited. You don't know the half of it. First, I'm going to call an old friend. Then the sprinkler system arrives. And here's Hydro Man. Okay, they've teamed up and they're going to try and kill Spider-Man, with Electro babbling on like you'd expect him to be in a 1960s comic. Even Spider-Man is able to point out the idiocy of their team-up. Man, oh man. Electro and Hydro Man, is this the lamest team-up or what? Haven't you heard? Clearly, no, they haven't. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going through something this stupid. And guess how they get defeated? I shit you not, Spider-Man webs one of Electro's feet and causes him to slip into Hydro Man, the man who's composed of water, and Electro is the guy who with a lot of electricity. They get fried. Electricity and water don't mix. So an electricity-based and a water-based pair of supervillains decided to team up, not knowing, or maybe just glancing over the fact that being near each other or accidentally slipping into each other will result in them dying. Best team up ever. lazy way to win an easy fight. So, after beating that easy boss fight, Spidey moves on to the next boss, Scorpion. Oh, I actually love this bit. Spider-Man's calling around. 2 down, 4 to go. I've got a chance as long as I keep the element of... And then Scorpion's tail appears out, saying, surprise! I've waited a long time for this. You don't say. The man has given me some new duds, some new tech. What are you from, the 60s? Who says the man anymore, apart from hippies and conspiracy nutjobs? In any case, Scorpion rants about the fact how he can do anything in this, and Spider-Man asks him, anything? Anything! Then he asks him if he can fly, and kicks him out of the web tower. And Spider-Man does not give a crap how the Scorpion looks a little bit worried that he's falling to his death. Kinda cold, man, kinda cold. No sooner after that do we move on to our next boss fight. Mary Jane? Yeah, it's quite obvious that this is Mysterio, given how he pretty much saw him the last time he got his ass kicked. And Mary Jane Illusion pretty much rants, saying, ha ha ha, you're nothing but a... And then Spider-Man punches the Mary Jane Illusion, saying, shut your trap, bitch! Did Spider-Man just have a pimp moment? Anyway, the illusion has been shattered, as well as Mysterio's helmet, and Spidey gives him some advice when it comes to fear hallucinogenics. Some advice. Do not dress up like a man's dead wife, not unless he pays you to. And then we see the skinny silhouette of Kraven. Spider! We now cut back to the Sandman, and I have to admit this is kind of an interesting tweak at the cursing bit. Stay back, you fugly mother! I love how they actually got away with trying to put the F word in by having the letter F put there. So instead of saying fucking ugly, he says fugly. It's kinda nice. Cement Girl, I'm just calling her that because she's no longer pink-haired, is kind of glad to finally meet her dad, while the Sandman is trying to tell her that if she's anything like him, then she'll be able to will back the parts together, and Sandman keeps fighting off the Venom symbiotes while trying to reassure the Cement Girl that she can focus and fuse herself back together. And now, literally 1 page after that scene, we cut back to Kraven and Spidey in the web tower again, where Kraven reveals that what Mysterio used is based off a toxic mushroom that African warriors used to eat, so that when they go into battle, they'll see their worst fear, so that it will be on their side. So let me get this straight, they'll be seeing their worst fear, and somehow fear will be on their side. It's a bit of a stupid plan on the African warriors' part. Kraven suggests that both of them should inhale the toxic mushroom vapour, so that they'll have nothing to fear. Literally. And I love how as soon as he inhales this, Kraven suddenly gives this look. I should know that from watching movies that his reaction is kind of similar when you snort cocaine up like a blender. Both of our warriors run into each other, and Spider-Man sees visions of Aunt May, Uncle Ben, Mary Jane and Jonah pretty much telling him that he's a loser. But Spider-Man just smiles at that, saying, that doesn't matter, I've been seeing them all day. And he wonders what Kraven sees. A fugly big rhino. That's right, Kraven's worst fear is a big rhino. Which makes me wonder, does he shit himself in the sight of the villain, Rhino? I guess if that would happen, I think that Rhino would be like this. I am the Rhino! Just tell me what to do! Ain't nothing on earth that can stop me! Nothing can stop the Rhino! We then skip what could have been a pretty good fight, when Spider-Man, having used 16 web cartridges to seal up Kraven. Seriously, how many cartridges did he have? And did he have any of that in the coffin? Actually, yes, but where did he put all those extra cartridges from? Okay, I'm just analysing this too much. I know it's a nitpick, but still, you just have to question this. We cut again to the Sandman and Cement Girl, and immediately the Venom symbiotes begin to retract and go up to the web tower. And while the Sandman is happy that, well, they won, unfortunately, the Cement Girl has died from her wounds. And tragically, the Sandman is saddened by the fact that he didn't know her name. I have to admit, this bit is actually very strong, because it pretty much gives him a moment to try and beat the hell out of Mayor Walter. It's sad that he just meets the girl, his own daughter, who he has not seen in years. In the art of war, such an event as conducted by Mayor Walters have resulted in the loss of the one person he could have truly loved, had circumstances been different. The sad man goes over to a rain guard and says that he should go home and hug his kids, and he leaves off to find Mayor Walters. Anywho, none of that. We go back to Spidey, who's now entering the double doors of the main room where Venom, Jonah and Mayor Waters are. And we're looking at pretty bad images on the doors. The artwork is pretty much like what you'd note. It looks pretty much fake and really not hand-drawn. You can clearly see they just pretty much took images of doors and just pasted them there. It's a bit shoddy. And now we get an entire page of about 10 panels, 5 from Spider-Man and 5 from Venom in the dark, talking to each other, with Venom's massive eyes and massive teeth pretty much drawing you to his attention. And he talks about, it's been a long time, and says that he has been very lonely and he's been using Waters, and, well, because of the fact that he has been on Earth, his life has been a bit of a miserable existence, which pretty much leaves Peter speechless. And on the next page we got, holy mother of God, that is big! If you want something to inspire fear, that is how you inspire fear. Look at him. He's bigger than the Hulk in this panel. He can pretty much take anyone in his hand and crush them without even trying. I think he would give Great Ape Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z a run for his money in that size. Oh, by the way, considering how this is light, all the lights appear to be on, how on that last bit it was dark. How did the lights turn on? Or plot hole after minor inconvenience. I love this comic, but still, all the nitpicks just make you have to lower your head. Venom starts to pretty much berate Peter even more.
Look at me, Parker! I am the one responsibility that you have shirked. You brought me to this city and made me its prisoner.
Oh God, again with responsibility. Why responsibility? Every single bloody issue I have reviewed of this miniseries, responsibility is always there. Oh God, please stop trying to crap like with responsibility. I think I'm going insane. Venom states how he was so lonely on Earth and saying,
I was lonely, Peter. So lonely. So finally, I made arrangements to have some friends over for dinner.
And then the symbiotes burst into the room through the windows.
And they are having you for dinner. All of you. But we will be careful to eat around the bones. We don't want those sticking out of our teeth.
Walters, for the gazillionth time, tried to say that everything will be okay, but Spider-Man pretty much points out the blatantly obvious. Waters, your life is in servitude to an alien life form that just ingested dozens of people. You call that okay? Then Waters gives up and says, screw this, and he walks out into the hallway. Venom and his symbiote start to attack Spider-Man, who says that he didn't come here for Venom or his friends, and he came here for Mary Jane. Venom pretty much wonders what the heck he means by her, since Mary Jane is obviously dead. And he's able to get a hold of Spider-Man, saying,
yes.
Which is even more creepy than Electro's enjoyment over electricity. Walters accidentally runs into the Sandman, who says that he has something that he wants. Walters is scared completely shitless by this, and says, sure, anything you want, just don't hurt me. And then Sandman replies with,
I can't make any promises.
We then cut to 2 pages of Spider-Man going through an odd hallucination dream thing, where he's in a white void with him and Mary Jane looking like how they were in their school years. Mary Jane says that, well, she loves him, even though he did kill her, raising Peter's confidence from, I think I'm a loser, to, I'm a hero. And she puts his mask on, and, what with the eyes, seriously, look how small they are. Peter's especially. Who in their right mind would draw eyes that look smaller than a fingernail. In any case, Mary Jane says that even beyond death, she still loves him, and says those classic words, "Go get 'em, Tiger." And now, immediately snapping out of this, whatever the hell it was, he manages to kick some symbiote arse, goes out of the web tower, and starts climbing up it. A surviving crowd of unattacked humans see Spider-Man going up the web tower, as well as all the symbiotes that have gathered there. And seriously, what the hell is with their design? They all look like Venom. Did the artist just not bother about giving them different appearances, so he just thought, screw it, I'll draw the same design a billion times over? And Peter goes through a brief narration thing where he realises that because he's doing what he's doing, these people are not being the cowards and they will fight. It will make them fight harder. Oh, one more thing. This woman here looks like the pink-haired girl. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of people would be confused if they didn't really pay attention. Plus, there doesn't appear to be any eyes on her. Smooth move, artist. You really do pay attention. Spidey says that he'll pretty much fight all of these alien bastards for Mary Jane. And he says, for her, I'll fight them all. And also I have to know that the symbiotes appear to go hiss and growl. Very original, guys. So, on the top of the web tower, he ends up having his arse handed to him by the symbiotes while cracking a joke. And also, I want you to play a game here. It's called Spot which one of these symbiotes is Venom. Seriously, they only all look the same, and the only way you could tell it's Venom because of the white spider symbol. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Let's see. No. No. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay. Oh, never mind. The Sandman's here. And again, he brings up the whole Hope has three daughters thing. He walks through him, allowing him to give him the detonator. And all the symbiotes start to feast on the Sandman, all not really giving a crap that Spider-Man is right in front of him, and that they could easily tear him apart. And just as when they're about to lung at him, hey look, it's Venom! Spider-Man activates the detonator, which it pretty much detonates all the microscopic bombs on all of the Sinister Six. And then we see 3 pages of the web tower blowing up into smithereens. Oh my! And we see a ton of fog going on, and a kid who's believed that Spider-Man would save the day sees J. Jonah Jameson appear. Okay, did he really take a lot of time going down the web tower, or did he just take the stairs? He asks Jonah what this means, and he says, "It's a second chance." Spider-Man, obviously surviving, comments that it feels like winter, and that it always seems like the end of the world. Then we see J. Jonah Jameson appearing on the news, saying that
mass youth have returned to the streets. Muggings, rape and murder are again around every corner.
And we also see that during this, a guy attempts to rob a bar only to have Spider-Man whip him up.
Curfew laws have been abandoned and people like me are allowed to have a voice again. No, we're not safe, none of us are. The super terrorists are loose again. God bless them.
Spider-Man appears over to Mary Jane's grave and says, "I'll see you one day, MJ. Until then, I have responsibilities." And he puts on the lilies over to her grave. And thus ends Spider-Man Reign. And that was Spider-Man Reign, issue 4. Congratulations to myself, I finally completed it. So how does it hold up as just one issue alone? Well, it appears to be okay. The climax is a bit anticlimactic, but you know, I found the whole Sandman's daughter is the pink-haired girl thing to be a bit forced, and it just has to make you question a few things. As a whole, the series is interesting. I mean, there are similarities to it and The Dark Knight Returns, but there are also a lot of differences to it that make it an original story. So, as a whole, Spider-Man Reign is just pretty good. I mean, it's got a few flaws here and there, but hey, nothing's perfect, and it's one of my favourite Spider-Man stories ever, and I hope you like it too. This is Sonic Boom 94, the Blue Brit Blur, signing off.